Hello guys, Kale Anderson here. I'm just going to talk about some stuff and stream a bit of Osmos. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. This music's a bit too loud. Navigate by aligning the cursor behind you and pressing the left mouse button. Okay. Yeah, so I thought I'd just beam in and start chatting about my mental health journey so far and what's taken place over the whole of 2020. I got admitted to the hospital in May. At the time, I'd call it the Matrix because there was a lot of tricks that were being played. And May was really, really difficult. I was having delusions, hallucinations most of the time. I was in May. And the more and more I look back now on my past, the more I realized how unwell I actually was. None of my relationships were healthy. My eating habits weren't healthy. I was addicted to cigarettes. Oh, we completed the zone. Yeah, so I love you guys. I never wanted to hurt anybody, necessarily, but when I was in my mental state, I was hurting people, and there's a fair bit of truth to the idea that the mentally ill people don't have much control over what they do, but that doesn't mean you're not going to feel the guilt of it all. My sister had a dog bucket. It was like I guess like a dog food bucket, and she really loved this thing, and she's planning to get her own house and stuff. And I picked up this dog bucket, and I got my brother's bass guitar, which he got when he was very young. Like, he had a bass guitar when he was like 10 years old. And I got this bass guitar, and I boom on this beautiful dog biscuit container, busted it into pieces. I put like this fabric material inside the bucket and lit it on fire. And then what was in the bucket looked like a pig, like a demonic pig that was burning. And I said, I got the pig man, because I'd heard people on a podcast talking about the pig man or something. And Tim Dillon was involved in that delusion, because I thought Tim Dillon was one of the pig mans. There's so many funny stories. They're funny to me now just because of how bizarre they are. Yeah, but going back, like, I'd say Well, it would have to be when I had my drug overdose. In my last video about ideas and delusions of reference, I talked about my drug-induced psychosis, and that happened in 2015, around September to October. And I was given all these drugs. And these drugs, to list some, it was MDMA, marijuana, acid, mushrooms, and perhaps a bit of changa, which is like a DMT based hallucinogen. Well, it's pretty much like smokable DMT. And that festival did a number on me because it was a 5-day festival, but I stayed for 6 or 7 days. I stayed for the whole pack down because I didn't know what to do with me. I was just walking around on my own at this festival, doing drugs and getting involved with some really dangerous characters. Force reception. That's cool. I don't know what that means. Is that something new mechanic? We're in orbit. Yeah, so by the time I got back from this festival is called Burning Seed. I thought the burning of the man was awesome. The festival Burning Seed is a regional burn in Victoria or New South Wales, or between the both of them. And it was I would never trade it for the world. I'm so happy I had that experience, even though it was horrible for my mental health. I had the opportunity to play many shows and many many shows on stages at the festival. And yeah, I got to Melbourne. I rocked up at Crunchy Town, which was like a little group of people. Some of my friends, we called ourselves the Crunchies. And I rocked up there and I scared the shit out of them with how I was acting. I wasn't making any sense. I was disorganized. I went into Melbourne and when I was in Melbourne, I was looking for the train to get back to Warragul, where I used to live. And it was hard, and I was tripping too hard to figure myself out. So much happened, and a lady started following me like she thought I was onto something. Because some people see the mad as kind of people that are onto something sometimes. And yeah, I remember being on the train back to Warragul with this lady, and she followed me from Melbourne, and she gave me a chicken sandwich. And I ate the chicken sandwich and I thanked her for it. Mind you, I was wearing nothing but like a blanket that lady had given me. Apart from that, I was in my underwear, and I was on the train, and I started sucking at my shoulders, and I gave myself hickeys on my arms, and the whole train was full of old people, and it really freaked them out. These old people were really freaked out. The train didn't stop at any train stations from Flinders Street and went straight to Dandenong, stopped there. The police came on board, got me off, put me in the ambulance. She did like a checkup on me. I couldn't remember my own name. I thought I was Aaron Mason. Taxi cost $2,000 just to go from the train station to the hospital. $1,500, the $2,000, something around there. Got to the hospital. The man asked, when were you born? I said 1989, because that was some delusion that was in my head while I was at the festival, and I carried it over to the hospital. And that's all the information he got out of me. Luckily enough, I remembered my dad's number off by heart, so I called him. Oh, no, I said his number, and they called him. And then I got injected with this sleeping thing, really powerful sedative, because I was not going to go to sleep. I'd been awake for pretty much 5 days straight, 6 days straight. And then there I was, waking up in a hospital bed with Dad there, wondering what the hell happened to me. I went back to his house. I went back to Dad's house. My first termination. So I went back to Dad's house, and he was trying to calm me down the whole time, and I was talking about how I own the cat company. There was a book cover that Dad was touching that said, "Who can you really trust?" on it. It was like a thriller book, and he was putting his hand on this book, and I thought it was trying to tell me something, like, who can you trust? These moments in the month of October, my first birthday spent in a mental asylum, mental institution, was in October 27th. And that was, crazy month. At one point, I drove my Holden VL down the street and parked in a disabled bay. And it's a wonder I didn't kill anyone while I was driving, or kill myself, because I was driving on the wrong side of the road on the back roads. Parked in the disabled bay, went down the park, hit myself on the back with a big stick. The police found me, questioned me, took my mug shot after they'd driven me to the cop shop. "2016 comes around the corner. 2016, I'm having spiritual delusions, which soon became religious delusions. I became a Christian for a year. I believe in God, but not how I did then. I believe in a loving creator. Second admission. I have the craziest apocalypse of my life. In my life, I've been through many personal apocalypses. 2017's apocalypse in Flynn Ward was crazy. Life form terminated. Oh. 2018 drifts around. I've been really loving music. I'm releasing so much music in 2018. I start going all out on Bandcamp, releasing demos and scraps in the form of improvisations. My best friend Eleanor buying my music, making me feel appreciated. My biggest fan. She was cool. Kept me sane a lot of the times when I needed someone to talk to. 2019, 2020, COVID hits. I'd already been used to isolation, but depression hits more. (2021) Starting to think a lot about narcissists and their effect on me. Starting to distrust everyone. Seeing all the bad, not the good. Friend by friend, coming into a place where I go, that's not for me, that's not for me, that's not for me. 2022, early 2022, February, chucked it all out. Blocked my family, blocked my friends, blocked my best friends, blocked everyone from social media. Everyone. I couldn't have blocked any more people. February, March, April. Starting to get a bit weird now. May 2022. Pardon me. May 2022. I enter the Matrix. I thought I was in a battle with the demiurge, and I thought the demiurge had possessed my mother's body. The demiurge is supposed to be a mistake made by Gnostic Sophia, Pistis Sophia, in the Gnostic tales. In the Gnostic scriptures, I should say. The demiurge was a mistake, and I don't believe that. I don't believe in the demiurge. I believe there's more purpose to life than that. But when you're having a psychotic episode, it's hard not to believe what you're experiencing. I ate 2 chicken balls wrapped in bacon, completely raw. They'd been in the microwave for like a minute, and then Mum put them in the oven to try and cook them because she didn't know what I was doing. Before this happened, though, we were trying to get help, and I was ready to get some help, but we went through the triage, and all that did was make me more crazy. They sent me home saying I got 100% on an IQ, like a little copy this hexagon down on a piece of paper. Oh, you got 100% right, you can leave. Mum wasn't happy. And then when I ate these 2 chicken balls, this was my first admission to the mental institution. I shit blood for 2 weeks. Maybe I shouldn't go into too much detail about that. I had salmonella poisoning, and I was in a mental hospital. So there's not much I could do about that. I meet thousands of characters. At times I think like we're all actors and we're in some kind of movie or TV show. At other times I think it's entirely spiritual and there's a war going on. At times I believe in God. Sometimes I'm chilling. Other times I'm horrified at what I'm experiencing. I get home after a month after the month of May spent feeling like I'm lost in the Matrix, never getting out, making videos, putting them on YouTube. I've been so bloody out there. Oh, that was mine, dude. I start to lose track of time. I'm communicating with Crystalia in my mind. But that's all delusion. Things start to get hardcore. Things start to get hardcore at this point. I lasted 3 weeks out of the mental institution. Once again, I was readmitted. That went on for another month. So many things happened. I thought I was a clay person. I thought there was clay in my body. I thought I was pure clay, and with scratches and like pain in my hands where the scratches were. I had the Damien Rice lyric in my head. I thought I told you about playing with sand. And now I'm here, and things are so much better. I'm getting dental work. I'm getting a wisdom tooth removed. I'm getting a filling. I'm developing closer bonds with my nurses. I'm ready to do things. I'm facing things that scare me. I'm not prepared, but I'm ready. Always remember, what you're going through now, it won't be tomorrow. Maybe it will, but it won't be in the same form, because energy is constantly shifting and changing. The energy never dies. Black Eyed Peas. Black Lives Matter. Every now and then I'm going to play Osmosis. Is that what this... Oh, Osmos. Every now and then I'm going to play Osmos and just talk like this about what's going on. Thank you. I'll see you later, guys.